Welcome. This video is going to demonstrate using the debugger to follow code through conditionals. So I've got the tax program open. This is the same one that's in the book. And we're going to read in the status of someone, whether they're filing a single, married, etc., and then their income, and we'll compute their tax based on that. Now the only part that the code is there for is single filers, so anything else is not going to work correctly. But I want to see, kind of watch it, pick the right case. So the way I can do that is by putting a breakpoint in, and I'm not too concerned about the reading stuff in. I'm pretty sure that that part works. So I'm going to put my breakpoint kind of down here at the if. This is the part where I'm really curious about what happens. Alright, so let's start it up. I'm going to build it, and then start in debugging mode. So it's waiting for me to give the input, so I'll put in status of 0 for single filer, and for taxable income I'll put in 40,000. So at this point the code started running again, and we've hit the breakpoint, and so we've stopped running. And it's waiting for me to tell it to advance, so I can look at the status as 0, so I expect it to come into this if. Income's 40,000, so I can see it read in the value I gave it, and tax was set to 0. So remember, to step through the program, I can use this step over or F10. And so if I do that, it takes me to the next line. It's about to do this test. Our income is not less than or equal to $8,300, so we better skip this next line. And I can see that's exactly what happened. We jump down to the else, which says, okay, test and see if we're under 33,950. No. Okay, test and see if we're under 82,000. Now this is the correct case for the 40,000, so I do expect it to come in and execute this line. And I can see that's what happened. This is all one line of code. It's just broken at the plus. There's a new line, so it splits on the screen and fits better. But you can see the semicolon is there. And so this is all one line of code, and it's about to execute this line. So tax is about to be set by doing this math. Hit F10 again. And you can see this is the next line that's going to be executed. So we did this line of code, apparently calculated tax of $6,187. And then after it was done, we skipped the else because we did the if here. So basically we skip all these else's. Then we're done with the if here. Since we did the if, we can skip this whole chain of else's. So this is the next line of code that's going to be executed. And we're going to print out the tax. If I step it one more time, to see the output, I've got to go pull this back up, and there I can see the output. So I've got to kind of bounce back and forth between working inside the Qt Creator, inside the debugger, and going and looking at the output of my program. Now there are times, so let's say my tax is wrong. Alright, so something bad happened when I was doing my calculation. I'm not quite sure what. This is a pretty big, ugly expression. So the way to debug something, if something's going wrong and you step through and it looks like the right code's executing, is to break it up. Now for this, in order for this to all be considered one statement, a block of code that goes with this if, I've got to put the curly braces around so that I can do something like this. So let's make a double called base, and I'm going to set it to be this part. So basically I'm just going to break up the math into separate chunks. So each of these terms in the original big expression I'm going to calculate independently. So I'll call this the under 30K part. Not a real accurate name, but basically the flavor of what I'm doing. And then the over 30K, let's call that. And we'll set that to be the final part. Now, I probably wouldn't bother doing this unless either my expression's getting so ugly that it seems kind of unwieldy. I might do this just to break things up and make things a little bit more readable. But the other good reason to do this would be, like I said, so that I can check individual parts. So let me try this one in the debugger. We'll start it up. I'm going to enter the same values. And so the debugger's stopped us at the breakpoint. I'm going to go ahead and step through the code. Now, so the advantage here is I can watch each piece and make sure kind of each piece is individually calculating what it should. Right, I can check the base part and make sure that that expression is doing exactly what I expected. I can check this part and make sure I'm getting the answer I expect. Check the pieces one by one, and makes it a little easier if I've got some silly mistake, maybe I forgot the 0 there. It's going to make it a little easier to track down if I'm doing smaller chunks of work with each statement.